Detroit Tigers, who made the playoffs last year, PECOTA has them 78.4 wins, 83.6 losses, 9.8% to win the division, 7.3 for the wild card, 17.1% chance they make the playoffs in general, which is that's interesting to me because I mean we all know they made the playoffs last year. They ended the Houston Astros run of ALCS appearances. They went 86 and 76. Surprised the hell out of everyone. I mean, look at post All-Star break. They were 48 and 50. And then they finished 86 and 76. So they turned it on. Had a great season. A couple things of note. Javi Baez, negative 1.1 WAR. I don't know if we're going to see him or how much we're going to see him. I mean, that is a big contract. I think they probably got to start him in the lineup. I don't know who else would play shortstop for them right now off the top of my head. Cole Keith, can he take a step forward? He didn't really have a great rookie campaign, but I would hesitate to say it was bad. 96 OPS plus, 1.1 WAR. Spencer Torkelson. Oh man, he had such a decent year, a very uplifting year in 2023. We really thought he was going to take a step forward in 2024. He didn't. 89 OPS plus, only 10 homers compared to what I believe he had 30 last year or in 2023. 31 in 2023, 107 OPS plus, 758 OPS. I was really hoping he was going to take that step forward. And if you were to tell me that Spencer Torkelson hit, if I were not to see the standings at the end of 2024, but you told me that Spencer Torkelson hit 10 homers, had an OPS of 669, OPS plus of 89, I would have said there's no way in hell they made the playoffs. Riley Green was great. Skubal, of course, won the Cy Young last year, 6.3 WAR. Jack Flaherty had a great season there. Great season there. And good on the Tigers for bringing him back. Bringing him back. Let's see. Who else did they lose? Who else did they bring in? They only lost Shelby Miller. Which is kind of nuts. Kind of actually nuts. Tell me if I'm wrong and I'm looking at the wrong thing, because that seems like a very, very low, just one guy. Is that correct? I don't know off the top of my head, but they brought in Gleyber Torres to play second base. And right now, they don't even have Javi Baez in the starting lineup. They have Trey Sweeney, according to Fangraphs. I really don't know if that's going to happen. They have Javi Baez on the bench, which I think is the correct place for him. But also, he's making what, $20 million? Is that going to be a $20 million bench player? I don't know. I think it's great for the team, but can you swallow that pride of spending that money and put him on the bench? I think you have to. But I really, really like what they brought in with Gleyber Torres. I mean, he's not that dude who's going to hit 38 homers like he did in 2019. That was the juice ball year, right? Yes, that was the juice ball year. What did he do last year? He had 257, 15 homers, 330 on base, a 101 OPS plus. Not an amazing year, but not a terrible year. What's he got for a career? A career 112 OPS plus. So a little bit lower than his career average. But if you look at the last 3 years, 113 OPS plus, 118 OPS plus in 2023 with an 800 OPS. That's not bad. You also know he's not there for his defense, and that is completely fine. Projected for a 3 WAR season, that is not bad. I would absolutely take that if he put up 3 WAR. Riley Green. I'm very excited to watch him play. He is definitely a top tier player. 24 years old, really put it together last year. Fun fact, I did go to spring training in Orlando, and I saw the Phillies against the Tigers. And I was really excited to watch Riley Green hit. And unfortunately, he was 0 for 3 with 3 Ks in his time playing. But who cares? It's spring training. Those stats don't matter. Maybe he was working on something. I don't really know. And I don't know how accurate this lineup is because you got Wenceel Perez hitting third projected in this Fangraphs lineup. I don't think that's going to be true. You got Kerry Carpenter, who, man, he really had a fantastic season last year. I am like all aboard the Kerry Carpenter hype train. And plus, this playoffs when he was hurt, but he still went out there and hit like a 3-run bomb against, who was it? The Guardians, I think. Off the top of my head, I don't remember exactly what it was when it happened, but man, he had a couple electric moments. Only 264 at bats, or 18 home runs in only 264 at bats. 159 OPS plus and a 932 OPS. Now he's not going to hit lefties. We know that. That's not what he does. But man, if he could. Let's see what he did against lefties. I know we're kind of going off on a Tigers lineup tangent, but I am very, very excited to see the Tigers. Yeah, he only hit 107, 408 OPS. Only 28 at bats though, so who knows? Maybe he worked on that in the offseason. I wouldn't bank on it though at all. 994 OPS against righties. This dude just mashes righties. You got Cole Keith, who could take a step forward. Spencer Torkelson as the DH. Jace Young, third baseman. Would that be his rookie year? That's a lot of lefties too. Jake Rogers behind the dish. Trey Sweeney, shortstop, like we talked about. And man, they brought in Jack Flaherty. So Skubal, Flaherty, top 2 of the rotation. That is nasty. That is very, very scary in a 2 or a wild card series or a DS. I really wish they'd change the DS to 7 games. So, but anyway, Casey Mize, who I saw in spring training, actually looked pretty good. Fastball sitting at like 95, 96. Reese Olson's another good pitcher. Kenta Maeda as your 5. That's not a bad rotation whatsoever. I mean, Casey Mize, he was like one of the top pitching prospects for a while. He's close to 28 now, but still, that could be a very, very solid top 4 of the rotation. Reese Olson kind of slept on a little bit, in my opinion. 2.4 WAR, 3.53 ERA. They brought in some bullpen arms too. John Brebbia, Andrew Chafin. We'll see if he makes the team. He's a non-roster invitee. Tommy Kahnle, who had a decent year last year, 2.11 ERA, 42 2/3 inning. Got Jason Foley, Bo Brieske, decent arms. These aren't guys that are going to like blow you away, but these are guys that are pretty solid from top to bottom in this bullpen. Maybe with the exception of John Brebbia and Andrew Chafin. Although I do think Andrew Chafin can be very, very valuable, had a very, very high K rate, but the walk rate's scary a little bit. 4.95 walks per 9 last year. You got Parker Meadows and Matt Vierling on the injured list right now. Strained rotator cuff and upper arm inflammation, respectively, to Matt Vierling and Parker Meadows. Happened late February. Hopefully they can maybe get better. They're not on the injured list, projected injured list. Guys who are actually on the injured list right now, Alex Cobb, who, he's had a really, really solid career. And Alex Lang, I believe, he had lat surgery in June, so that's why he wasn't in the bullpen. I knew they were missing someone. But man, I really, really like this Tigers lineup. I think they're so young. I mean, if this is the projected lineup and this is actually how they're going to roll them out, the oldest guy here is Jake Rogers, and he's going to turn 30 here soon, but he's not 30 yet. The next oldest guy is Glaber, 28 years old. This is a very, very young lineup. You got a top tier, top of the rotation for Detroit right now with Skubal, Flaherty, and I think Olson can, if he's as good as he was last year, this is a solid team. Who knows if Casey Mize really takes a step forward and becomes that guy who we thought he was when he was a top prospect. He has had some injury history as well. Let me kind of look at this Baseball Reference page. I kind of want to see what the timeline is. I wish I had a good enough memory to remember exactly what the timeline of his careers looked like. I mean, last year, he missed all of 2023. Last year was his first year back. 20 starts, 4.49 ERA, a FIP of 3.95 though, so not bad, but the whip is a little bit high. It's a little bit high. 10.6 hits per nine, 1.466 whip. Let's see if he brings that down a little bit. I would love to see that. Would love to see him bring that down a little bit. But what I'm going to say for the Detroit Tigers and their 78.4 projected wins, according to Pacoda, I'm hammering the over. There's no way they have a losing record, I think. If everyone performs like they did last year or takes a step forward, I believe that they are going to surpass that 78.4 wins. I mean, I don't know if they're going to make the playoffs. They had such a crazy end of the year last year that, man, that's tough to replicate, but I do think Detroit can. I think they can make the playoffs this year. This whole AL Central is going to be kind of like it's besides the White Sox, it is going to be a very big battle.